Well, it's now September. The Land Rover's not been touched since you last saw it. It's been driven a couple of times. The engine's now running acceptable, so I wasn't too happy with it before. It starts on the button. It's the only thing that has been done to this is that the back's been cleared out, and I've fitted the number plate because I was fed up with seeing it lying around. I've got the bottom hose to change on the water system, which isn't major. Another thing that I did yesterday was just try and have a go at tidying up these brake lines. Nothing much has really changed in here, I don't think, since you last saw it 2 months ago. I wanted to paint inside the tub yesterday, but as you can see I just didn't really have time with all this dust and all this muck. So one of the things I did, and the sills, they're causing a bit of trouble. It's finding the brackets that go inside them two holes down there. Then I've got the two brackets to go on the back, that's not a major issue. Then I can put the seat box in there. And that fuel tank's going to want coming out again, because it needs looking at, but anyway, that's not important. So yeah, now this machine's gone that used to stand here. In fact, part of it's still supporting the steps up there. But yeah, now this machine's gone, I can now put this vehicle inside here and get on with it, because before I just didn't have any space. So you really have to be careful if you're doing your first restoration. You need to be careful with the brake lines, because as I proved on the 109 that I run, just by vibrating against something like the chassis, they will eventually wear through, which means, well, in my case it was the clutch, but you will end up with no brake or clutch. It's alright when clutch goes, because you can get away without using it, but brakes you can't really. Another thing that I did yesterday was the front wings and the mud shields. And one wheel. And the fuel tank guard. But the flipping wings. Look at that finish, look at that finish. Filling were a bit of a problem. I filled a couple of holes in, and in the end I just ran out of time. That's the only downside towards the whole job. I just sprayed inside here just for the sake of using all paint it, really. Yeah, I've sprayed these, by the way. And doesn't that look fantastic? You can see grinding marks coming through though, where I had to strip the paint back. But I'll go and fit one and see how it looks. These wings aren't the best wings ever fitted to a restored vehicle. Can be quite obviously seen in the side lamp holes, but they are a lot better than some. I'm not quite sure how they sprayed Land Rovers when they were new, but I'm assuming that the wings would have been sprayed, fitted, already assembled on the vehicle. So down here there wouldn't be any paint. So when I sprayed them, I made sure I sprayed them green, and I've just been over with some of this thick underseal, which is just good stuff just to paste on in all the major areas. What I would call the major areas are, number one being that, and then number two being this area down here, which you can't see very clearly. This area where it meets the support bracket, and then this is the cutout for the steering box, and we've got a hole there that's started to go. And if you look over here, which is even worse, you've got your holes for the front panel, the front balance. These are already started to go through, so I'm just making sure I've got plenty of this underseal around them parts, just to prevent any rust. I know it doesn't look very neat, but we've got 3 pot rivets on this side on the top that you can just probably make out there, and that's just for a bracket fitted underneath, which you can just see the corner of, I think, yes. And that's just a new bracket for the inner mudguard. So I think, and also there's this thing down here, which is just a splash guard, which would normally live down here. So I think I'll grind that bolt out. I've already ground the others out to get it off. I'll grind that off, paint it in that thick underseal, and that'll be the first bit to go back on. It's down here you really need to be painting really in the thick paint, because all that's aluminium that's just corroded off there.